Okay, next we are going to see the solutions to spam and eavesdropping. Okay, so spam means what? Spam has become a ban of the internet. It is an unsolicited mail. Okay, so and still there is a no real solution in sight. Okay, spam is usually defined as unsolicited email and resembles the flyers from stores that clock your newspapers each morning. No, that will be like it will be. Plugging your newspapers every morning, so same like it will be entering to your email box frequently. Okay, so but it's much more than that. Protecting yourself against spam involves the following safeguards. Okay, you need to protect against the spam. So for that, what active protection we need to do? We need to use the anti-spam software. That means following are the two main methods used by the anti-spam software to get rid of the spam. Okay, so if you want to get out of the spam, okay, you need to use the following two main methods. That is, first one is sender filtering. This method allows only the messages from your approved sender list to reach your inbox. That means who and all you have approved already as a sender. Okay, so from those persons only you will be receiving the mail. So all other mail is quarantined for later review. That will be kept separately for later review. That is sender filtering option. Okay, sender filtering is done on the basis of digital certificates and digital signatures. So what is meant by digital certificates? It is specially formatted digital information issued to the website. Okay, it is a specially formatted digital information issued to website or used to verify the identity of the message sender to the recipient. So who is sending that information is already given in that digital certificate. Okay, digital certificates are issued by the certificate authority that is trusted by both the sender and the recipient. Okay, so that signature, that certificate is available or with the sender and to the recipient or not, it will be verified. Okay, and digital signatures are a way of authenticating the identity of the creators or producers of the digital information. Who is creating the message or digital information? That creators or producers authentication is going to be verified. So identity of that creators are going to be verified by the digital signatures. Okay, it's a way of authenticating the identity of the creators or producers of the digital information. Next is, second method is keyword filtering. Okay, keyword filtering means what? This method filters out the email messages that contain certain keywords. Okay, first one, sender filtering. So senders who and all you have set as blocking mails, no, blocking contacts, no, that from those persons you will not get any kind of mails. Okay, that is sender filtering. And keyword filtering is, this method filters out the email messages that is containing some kind of keywords. Certain keywords or phrases which are defined by you or others. So if you are typing some keywords or phrases, those phrases and keywords, if any mail is containing, any receiving mail is containing, so those mails are going to be quarantined. Okay, it will be kept separately in a spam, under spam box. Okay, so digital signature is like a handwritten signature and can have the same legal authority in certain situations such as buying and selling online and or signing legal contracts. Okay, so like that, digital signature is going to be used. It is similar like a handwritten signature only. And preventive measures, what we can take it against the spam and eavesdropping means, keep your mail address private. Email address, that is, be careful whom you are giving your email address to. Before giving your address out on an online form, check if there is a website privacy policy. That website is having some privacy policy or not, you need to check it. Then only you need to give out your email address information in an online. Okay, so this policy typically informs you of how they handle your personal information. So this policy will say about what? How they are going to handle your personal information. Signing up for free of offers seen online or by email may dramatically increase your chances of receiving spam messages. Simply, if you are downloading some contents alone, if you are signing up and you are giving your email address and passwords and all to some websites, so you may giving a chance, lot of chances, you are increasing the chances of receiving spam messages. Okay, so use encrypted connection always, especially if you have to provide sensitive information. Okay, so encrypted connections are made possible through the protocols like HTTPS and secure shell, and offer best security to data being transmitted. So these two protocols need to be used whenever you are giving providing your sensitive information. So install personal firewall on your computers connected to the internet, so as to keep check on incoming and outgoing information and connections. So it will be acting like a security guard. That firewall will be acting like a security guard. So who and all is incoming, entering to your computer and going out of the computer is going to be verified by this firewall. Always avoid conducting online transactions or using online banking services on public networks or public internet facilities. That is mainly Wi-Fi areas and all, where and all you are getting free Wi-Fi access. Those areas, never use your online banking services or online transactions. Please avoid. Okay, so through that your identity is going to be theft by some persons. Okay, install protection software such as internet security software that also provides intrusion prevention system to detect and prevent further attacks by eavesdroppers. Okay, next is solutions to PC intrusion. Solution to PC intrusion. The combination of identification, authentication, and authorization can control access to the system. So these three only will be controlling the access to the system. Identification of the sender or receiver, identification, authentication, authorization. These three are important. Okay. This combination is very useful, especially in network security. So various techniques used for network security are given below. What is meant by authorization? Asking a user a legal login ID performs authorization. So if any user is providing correct username or correct login ID, that means it's a authorized user. He is an authorized user that performs an authorization. Okay, if the user is able to provide legal login ID, he or she is considered an authorized user. Authentication means what? Is also termed as password protection, as the authorized user is asked to provide a valid password, and if she is able to do this, he is considered to be an authentic user. Okay, authentic user means original genuine user only. And firewall, a system designed to prevent unauthorized access. Firewall means what? It is a system, software or hardware designed to prevent unauthorized access to or from the private network is called a firewall. So to from the private network or from the private network. Okay, to the private network or from the private network, if any unauthorized access is going to be done, that is going to be prevented by this firewall system. Firewalls are a mechanism to prevent unauthorized internet users from accessing private networks connected to the internet, especially intranets. Intranets means the private networks means what? If some organization is owning their net, okay, network, their 10 computers or 20 computers in their organization, if it is interconnected with the internet, they may be exchanging the messages among their employees. Okay, and those information can be eavesdropped. Okay, any intruders can intrude the network and they can get the information. So that kind of intrusion cannot happen, will not happen if firewall is implemented. Okay, so that is only intranet. Intranet means that is related to one particular organization. Network which is belongs to one particular organization alone is known as intranet. Okay, internet is common to worldwide. Okay, and preventive measures: use proper file access permissions when sharing files on the internet. So proper file access permissions, we need to use it whenever we are sharing our files on the internet. That means what? File access permissions refers to privileges that allow the user to read. Okay, what kind of privileges a person is having, a user is having to read, write, or execute a file. If a user is having a read permission for a file, he or she can view or read the file. If a user has write permission for a file, he can edit or write into the file. If a user is having execute permission for a file, he can execute the file. File permissions are given for three sets of users, that is owner, group, or others. Owner means what? The user who has created the file is known as owner. Okay. Others means all the other users, and group means the group of users who are working with the owner as a group. Okay, and so you can decide upon the file permissions so that unknown user does not get write or execute the permissions at all. And then you need to disconnect from the internet whenever you are away. Use always on internet connections such as such cable and DSL increases your chances of some infections and intrusions, as your PC is always connected to the internet. So that always on option should be disabled. This doesn't mean you that you should switch back into a dial-up internet. However, you may want to disconnect from your always-on connection when you don't plan on using it for a long period of time. If you are not if you are not using your internet connection for a longer period of time, always on option need to be disabled. And next is solutions to phishing and forming attack. Okay, so already we knew that what is meant by phishing and forming. Okay, phishing for a confidential information. Phishing is the phishing for confidential information. It is a scam, fraud. Okay, it is actually a scam or fraud that encompasses the fraudulently obtaining and using an individual's personal financial information. Okay, farming refers to the redirection of individual to an illegitimate website through a technical means. So through a technical activity, forming a person, he'll be redirecting an individual to a bogus website, that is illegitimate website. To counter these evil twins is the task where you need alertness and carefulness. You need to be alert and you should be careful when you want to handle these kind of evils. Okay, so you can use the following safeguards to counter these attacks. Active protection: take the computer offline. That means disconnecting from the internet reduces the probability of infecting other devices in the same network with the malware. So if any other devices is attached with your computer, with your infected computer in the same network, your computer or entire network should be disconnected from the internet. This is one way of protecting other systems from the malware. Then second one, backup all the files on the hard drive. So if backing up data is routinely done, it is only necessary to back up new files alone. So routinely, if you are doing backing up of all the files, then only new files alone you can do the backup. Focus on capturing all sensitive data and irreplaceable files such as videos and family photos. So all sensitive data you need to focus, and which files and all cannot be replaced, and that kind of videos and family photos you need to back up. Okay, so list the information given to phishing scammers. So depending on the what was leaked, one may need to change the passwords or cancel credit cards, etc. So which information was leaked out? That based on that, we need to take the action immediately. Okay, but here you need to be very cautious. Do not use the compromised computer to contact agencies. Okay, any computer device is compromised. Okay, that means that is going to be under the control of what? Hacker. Okay, so that is only known as compromised computer. So we whatever activity we are doing, that will not be uh, sent to the contact agencies. Okay, because using the same device may open users to the risk of freshly installed keylogger. Something can be installed, some kind of malware could be installed in that computer. So that kind of computer only known as compromised computer, that will be under the control of the hackers. Okay, so which can record the new password as well. Okay, so run antivirus software. Do not trust free antivirus programs. They can be malware in disguise. That means it will be looking like a good one, and actually it will be a malware. So that like antivirus programs are also available. So never trust of free antivirus softwares. It is advised to take the infected computer to professional who specializes in malware removal. So if any person is expert in the malware removal activity, you can take your computer to the professional, a person who is specialized in malware removal activity, and contact credit agencies to report any possibilities of identity theft. Your information, any personal information, login ID, password, and your numbers, anything, if it is hacked by any hackers and intruders, okay, you need to immediately contact the credit agencies. Reach out to credit bureaus that operate and manage the credit cards, as it will sound the alarm to potential creditors. Okay, next is preventive measures. Phishing and forming. Phishing, and to a lesser extent forming, rely on tricking users rather than advanced technology. The best way to handle these threats is through vigilance. Okay, you should be aware. Okay, you should be alert. Okay, don't open emails from unknown sources or click on the link embedded in suspect messages. So whenever you are suspecting some messages, that links you should never open. Check the security guidelines of websites such as PayPal, so that you can distinguish between the legitimate and bogus emails. Also, rather than clicking on the link embedded in an email, you can type the general link in your browser. So if any link is provided like website address, all those things, that address straight away you can type it in the web browser address bar. Most important, when in doubt, do not click. Okay, if you have doubt, don't click it any attached email or link. Measures to protect your system involve physical protection as well as software protection. So you need to how you can protect your computer system in a physical way and also in a software way. Okay, so these are being listed here. You can read out all these measures also. So physically, how you can protect your systems, keeping important computers such as servers or mainframe systems in a locked room. So mainly the server system, that is a essential system, important system, and the mainframe computer also need to be in a locked room. Okay, and posting security guards. Security guards needs to be there for those kind of server systems. Using security locks, smart cards. You can provide security lock for your room, that server room, and smart card facility also you can enforce. Keeping sensitive data on standalone machines instead of networks. Okay, standalone machines alone, we can keep our sensitive data, not in networked computers. Using alarm systems and video cameras for monitoring. So you can, if you have a private network internet, if you are having in your organization, you can have for those network internet alone, you can use the alarm systems. If any unauthorized persons are going and using the system without your knowledge, then immediately alarm can be raised. Okay, raised. So that kind of systems you can set it, and you can use the video cameras also for monitoring. Keeping data backups and safe location. So safe location, you can take a backup of your data regularly. Next is how you can protect your system in a software way. Okay, so data encryption. It is a method in which the data is scrambled before being transmitted through a network. Only an authorized recipient has the key. So we should scramble the messages. That means we should break the messages into smaller pieces, and it should be encrypted properly. And finally, decryption key will be there at the recipient side. He may decrypt the message and he will be seeing the proper information. Firewalls. It is a software to block access from outside and to prevent the data being sent out in some cases. Okay. So which data is coming into a network, which is going out of the network, everything is going to be monitored by the firewall system. And maintaining activity or audit logs. That means to track who has been doing what on the system. So who and all using the system, which time they have used, and what kind of access they have done on the files which is kept in the system. So that kind of activities we can track it. That is known as audit logs. Who and all, which users and all have used the system, and which timings, and what kind of permissions they have used, whether they used read access or write access, all those things we can check it. Using user IDs and passwords. So to authenticate users, we need to give always to the system login ID and password. And providing access rights to authorized people only to ensure the information safety. So only for authorized people you can give the access rights. Next, last topic in your 16th chapter, that is firewall. It is an important solution for computer security. An internet firewall is a device or a software. Okay, it may be a hardware or a software. Firewall may be a hardware or a software that is designed to protect your computer from the data and viruses that you do not want. So, which data and which and all you don't want for your computer data to get affected, no? So that against that it will be protecting your computer. So firewall is so called because of the real firewalls used to secure buildings. So real firewall, how it is securing our building? In the same manner, a physical firewall is set of doors. Physical firewall means what? It is a set of doors and that closes in a building so as to contain a fire to one area, preventing the entire building from being destroyed. Okay. So likewise, an internet firewall is designed to shut off access to your operating system or other computers that are connected to your network. So it will be protecting your OS and other systems which are connected in the network. Okay. So it is a network security system. Firewall is a network security system, either hardware or software based. It is actually network security system. For internet or internet, we can use this firewall that controls incoming, outgoing network traffic based on the set of rules. Okay. So firewalls can be implemented in two forms. One is software firewall and another one is hardware firewall. A software firewall is a special type of computer software running on a computer. Software firewall means what? It is a special type of computer software which is running on your computer. It protects your computer from outside attempts, tries to control or gain access. Depending on your choice of software firewall, it could also provide protection against the most common Trojan programs and email worms. Also, it can be protected in your computer. Okay. And hardware firewall, it is a physical piece of equipment. It is like a computer only. designed to perform a firewall duties. Okay, hardware firewall may actually be another computer. It is actually be another computer also. Hardware firewall means or a dedicated piece of equipment which serves as a firewall. Hardware firewalls can be effective with little or no configuration, and they can be protect every machine on a local network. So firewalls keep out all malevolent hackers, that is bad hackers and all keep out, and people who intended to do damage and take over other people's servers. Okay, so who and all is bad in order to use the computer, those persons and all may be removed out, and it will be taking other people's to the servers. Okay, the who and all legitimate users, that people's alone will be allowed to use the servers. So firewalls really serve no other purpose. It seeks to limit the access to a server. Okay, that is limiting the access to the server. Who and all is authorized unauthorized users and authenticated users, those users alone allowed to access the server or computer, and let only the people who need to be there. Okay, firewall seek to limit the access to the server or computer and let it only allow the people who need to be there. Okay, so with this, our 16th chapter is going to end. With this, we will wind up our today's class. So be ready for your test. Thank you.